Hello everyone and welcome back. Today, we're uncovering the shocking truth behind Christmas, the most celebrated holiday in the world. You think you know where Christmas comes from? Think again. I'm about to reveal 5 incredible origin stories that will completely change how you see this holiday. From pagan festivals to commercial transformations, the real history of Christmas is far more complex and surprising than you ever imagined. Let's dive into the hidden origins of Christmas. Let's start in Scandinavia with a story that will shock you. Long before Christmas existed, the Nordic people celebrated a festival called Yule, or Yule, around the winter solstice. This was a pagan celebration where Scandinavians feasted to ward off darkness, honor gods like Odin and Freya, and mark the gradual return of light. These celebrations involved massive feasts, drinking, burning logs, and symbols of fertility and abundance. It was a wild, joyous festival, celebrating survival through the darkest time of year. When Christianity arrived and tried to impose itself, the church first attempted to make these celebrations disappear completely. But they failed. The pagan traditions were too deeply rooted in Nordic culture, so the church made a brilliant strategic decision. Instead of fighting Yule, they baptized it. They introduced the Nativity Mass, called Christmesse, at the exact same time as the pagan festival. Genius move. By overlapping the dates, they gradually absorbed the old traditions into the new Christian framework. But here's the fascinating part. The word Yule survived. Today, in Danish, Norwegian, and Swedish, Christmas is still called Yule, not Christmas. This proves that the Christian holiday was literally built on top of older cultural foundations. The taste for grand meals, drinking, logs, and symbols of abundance simply transformed, colored by Christian stories rather than disappearing. The bonfires became Yule logs. The celebration of light became the celebration of Christ as the light of the world, but the fundamental structure remained pagan. When you celebrate Christmas today, you're participating in traditions that are thousands of years older than Christianity itself, Nordic Christmas, where pagan roots never died. Now let's talk about how December 25th became Christmas Day, and trust me, it's not what you think. In late antiquity, Christians chose December 25th to celebrate Jesus' birth. But here's the thing, nobody actually knows when Jesus was born. The Bible gives no specific date. So why December 25th? Because it perfectly coincided with major Roman festivals like Saturnalia and the feast of Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun. These were massive pagan celebrations of the winter solstice, filled with feasting, gift-giving, and reversal of social norms where slaves temporarily became masters. This calendar overlap made it much easier to convert pagans to Christianity. Instead of asking people to abandon their beloved winter festivals, the church simply rebranded them. They replaced sun worship with the celebration of Christ, the light of the world. Brilliant marketing strategy. Throughout the European Middle Ages, midnight mass, nativity scenes, religious songs, and processions combined with ancient winter banquets. Gradually, the family and community dimension strengthened. People attended richer meals than the rest of the year, exchanged modest gifts, and installed symbolic elements like candles, greenery, and later, Christmas trees. The Christian holiday absorbed everything around it. Pagan rituals, Roman festivals, Germanic traditions, all blended into what we now call Christmas. The date was chosen for convenience, not divine revelation. December 25th, where paganism met Christianity and made a deal. Now let's travel to Germany for the origin of the most iconic Christmas symbol, the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree as we know it today takes shape in Germanic regions from medieval traditions mixing religious theater and tree symbolism. Paradise trees decorated with apples recalled the biblical story of Adam and Eve. These trees were erected on December 24th, the liturgical feast day of Adam and Eve. Gradually, these trees were adorned with candles and sweets, bringing an ancient symbol of eternal life into the heart of Christmas. But the Christmas tree was strictly a German tradition for centuries. In the 19th century, everything changed. The German tree traveled with migrations and royal marriages, particularly to the United Kingdom and North America. When Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, who was German, displayed a decorated Christmas tree at Windsor Castle in 1848, it became fashionable across the British Empire. The illuminated tree, associated with gifts placed at its base, spread to numerous countries and became a central symbol for increasingly bourgeois and urban families. Today, the Christmas tree is present even in countries where Christians are a minority. It became a global symbol, disconnected from its religious origins. This is fascinating. A German Christian tradition based on pagan tree worship became the universal symbol of Christmas worldwide. You don't need to be Christian to have a Christmas tree anymore. It's been completely secularized and commercialized. The Christmas tree, from biblical theater to global decoration. Now let's explore how Christmas is celebrated in places where Christianity is a minority. In Egypt and Ethiopia, large Eastern churches, Coptic and Ethiopian, celebrate Christmas on January the 7th according to a different liturgical calendar than the one used in the West. The celebration comes after a long fast where animal products are avoided and concludes with a night liturgy and festive meal. In Egypt, traditional dishes include bread, rice, and meat. In Ethiopia, spiced stews accompany flatbreads. These celebrations are deeply religious, focused on fasting, prayer, and community. In India, Christmas is celebrated by a Christian minority, but with strong local roots. Churches, sometimes mango and banana trees, are decorated with garlands and red flowers. Houses are adorned with colored paper, and midnight mass ends with a meal that may include spiced rice and pork. The celebration sits at the crossroads of the Christian calendar and Indian culture, with an emphasis on community and kala. It's nothing like Western Christmas. No snow, no Santa Claus, but vibrant tropical celebrations mixing faith and local tradition. These versions of Christmas prove that the holiday adapts to every culture it touches. There's no single authentic Christmas. Every region, every religion, every culture transforms it according to local needs and traditions. Christmas in minority communities, where faith meets culture. Finally, let's talk about the most dramatic transformation in Christmas history: how Saint Nicholas became Santa Claus. Originally, Saint Nicholas was a 4th century bishop, venerated particularly in the Eastern Mediterranean and Central and Eastern Europe, known for his gifts to the poor and protection of children. In several European regions, his feast on December 6th gave rise to distributions of gifts or treats to children as early as the Middle Ages. This was a religious tradition tied to a specific saint on a specific date. But then everything changed. With European migrations to North America, this character traveled and gradually transformed into a secular and more universal figure, associated with December 24th, 25 rather than December Seeth. Under the influence of popular culture, advertising and media of the 19th and 20th centuries, this Christian benefactor became the modern Santa Claus or Father Christmas. The transformation was radical. The thin bishop in religious robes became a jolly fat man in a red suit. The religious gift giver became a commercial icon. In the 1930s, Coca-Cola's advertising campaigns cemented the modern image of Santa Claus. Red suit, white beard, rosy cheeks, always smiling. This figure is now known far beyond the Christian world. In Japan, where Christians are a tiny minority, Santa Claus is everywhere at Christmas. He's been completely disconnected from St. Nicholas and even from Christianity itself. He became a global commercial mascot. The transformation from St. Nicholas to Santa Claus represents the ultimate commercialization of Christmas. A religious figure of charity became a symbol of consumerism and gift-giving. Today, more people recognize Santa Claus than St. Nicholas. the greatest marketing transformation in history. So there you have it. From Nordic pagan festivals to strategic Christian calendar choices. From German trees spreading globally to Eastern Orthodox January celebrations. And finally, from a 4th century bishop to a commercial icon. The origins of Christmas are far more complex than a simple nativity story. But wait, the story doesn't end here. In part 2, I'm revealing the most emotional and incredible Christmas stories from history. We're talking about enemies singing together in World War I, George Washington crossing an icy river on Christmas night, Christmas in summer at the beach, and how enslaved people found hope during Christmas. These stories will move you to tears. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Tell me in the comments, did any of these origin stories surprise you? How do you celebrate Christmas in your culture? Share your traditions. See you very soon for the most emotional Christmas stories ever. Bye.